Welcome to Lesson 2 in Unit 23, Celestial Clocks and Calendars. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, why are some stars brighter than other stars? In this lesson, students will carry out an investigation to explain the relationships between the distance of stars from Earth and their apparent brightness. Students figure out that some stars look bright because their relative distance to Earth is closer than that of other stars. Other stars appear equally bright even though they are many times farther away from Earth because they have high luminosity. Students make connections to the storyline by understanding the importance of bright stars to the ancient Egyptian civilization. There are several opportunities for ELA and social studies cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 23 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 4 days to complete. To begin the Engage portion, you'll ask students questions about what they've learned in the previous lesson and whether or not they think all stars look the same. You'll then show pictures of Sirius and Rigel. You'll ask students what they notice and wonder about the stars and revisit the driving question board. You'll highlight questions connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about why some stars are brighter than other stars or why stars look different. You'll put students into pairs and give each pair a marble and a ping pong ball. Students will follow steps to interact with the balls and fill out the size and distance student journal page. For the Explore portion, you'll prepare the star and distance demonstration and tell students that, like the marble and ping pong ball, the stars that we see at night are not all the same size and are not all at the same distance from Earth. You'll ask if they think that bigger stars are brighter. You'll demonstrate how the apparent brightness of the sun and stars is due to relative distances from Earth using the 2 flashlights. In the Explain portion of the lesson, students will engage in a class discussion. You'll invite them to gather and analyze their observations around the size and distance demonstration. You'll use the provided questions to guide the discussion around why are some stars brighter than others. The goal of this class discussion is to analyze student observations and explain what makes a star appear bright to an observer on Earth. You will use the discussion to create the Lesson 2 summary chart. From the discussion, students should understand that because Sirius is so close, it is very bright, and the ancient Egyptians could see it easily. They were able to connect the sighting and rising of this star in the sky at the same time each year with the flooding of the Nile. Because of this, they were able to organize a calendar for growing food and plan the year based around the star, the flooding of the Nile, and their agricultural seasons. During the discussion, you'll read the book Stars as a class. Use the Read Aloud guide to ask students questions while reading. You'll also show students a video and post the luminosity, apparent brightness, and relative distance vocabulary cards. For the Elaborate portion, you'll have students read Ancient Egypt and the Pattern of Sirius. As students read, you'll have them record their takeaways in the Culture Note Catcher student journal page. For the Evaluate portion, you'll bring the class together to discuss and revisit the images of Sirius and Rigel from the Engage. You'll ask what they notice about Sirius and why they think it is brighter than Rigel. You'll investigate the stars' distances from Earth with students. Using the provided website, you'll scroll over the stars Sirius and Rigel and check the distance from the star to Earth. You'll have students fill out the Claim Evidence Reasoning from the Stars Claim Evidence Reasoning student journal page using information from the Explore Investigation and Explain discussion. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient them back to the driving question board. Ask, did we answer any of the questions on our driving question board? If there are questions that have been answered, remove them from the driving question board and place them on the summary charts. Use this as an opportunity to answer the section driving question, how are objects in the sky similar and different? Have students complete the Section 1 summative assessment. By the end of this lesson, students will have supported an argument that a star's brightness is determined by size, intensity, and distance from Earth. In Lesson 3, students figure out how shadows can help tell time because they change throughout the day. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.